Students, I hope you are all doing good. So let's start today's class. Before starting the next topic, we will discuss about the question answer that I have given you as an home assignment. I hope you have completed that. So let's discuss if any of you have any confusion or not. The first is classify the changes. So we have discussed in the last class that the changes has been classified based on two what? Getting back the original form and the new substances formed. Getting back the original form are again classified into two. If we are getting the original form, we are getting back the original form, we count it as a reversible. And if we don't get the original form, then we call it as a irreversible changes. Now in another classification is based on new substance formed or not. If no new substance is formed, then it is called physical change. And if new substance is formed, yes, that new substance has been formed, then it is called as a chemical changes. Now let's consider the second number question, that is folding a paper is what kind of changes? Folding a paper is a physical as well as reversible changes, because we have seen, let's suppose this is a paper I have folded, okay, I folded into a small. Now what you see, even after folding, you see that no new substance has been formed. So no new substance has been formed, so it is a physical change. But if we unfold it, we get back the original form. So since even unfolding it, reversing the method or reversing the methods, we can get back the original form. So it is a reversible as well as reversible. Now comes to the fourth number question. I will come to the third number question because here is no space, so I have to skip. So fourth number question was reversible change. Give the two example of reversible change and irreversible change. Reversible changes, as I told, getting back the original form. So first example, as you know, folding of paper, okay, stretching of a rubber band. I have given you an example that you are stretching a rubber band and you are getting back, even after leaving it, after releasing your finger, you get back the original form. So you can see that the stretching of a rubber band is also a kind of a reversible changes. Irreversible change, reaction between acid and base. You have learned it in earlier chapter, previous chapter, that how that a reaction of acid and base giving us what? Giving us a new substance is called salt and water. And digestion is also one kind of what? Is also one kind of irreversible changes. We have learned that what our stomach does. Stomach is to digest our food. What actually it does? That it breaks the food into simpler substances. For example, it breaks the glucose. It used to break the glucose and give us what? Water and energy. So see, the digestion is also one kind of irreversible change. Now comes to the rest of the questions. Now comes to the answer number 3, that is difference between irreversible and reversible. The difference between irreversible and reversible is that we have discussed that in irreversible we don't get back the original form, right? But in reversible we get back the original form. In irreversible, it is a permanent change. Once you have done, it is done. You cannot get back to the original form. In this way, coming back, there is no way to come back. And reversible, it is since we can get back the original form, so since there is a way to come back to the original form, there is a way to go back, it can be undone, so it is a temporary change. For example, we can say that ice to water, see, reversible sign, and here milk to curd, so irreversible sign. So we can say that we can give an example this of a irreversible and reversible. Now comes to the 5 number question, that is physical change is a temporary change. Explain. Yes, physical change is a temporary change because in physical changes we can get back the original form easily. You are folding the paper, unfolding it. You are stretching the rubber band and you are releasing your finger and the rubber band is getting back its original shape. See, so it is in a physical change, no new substance is formed, as well as we can get back the original form easily or by reversing the method. First you are stretching it, now unstretched it. Okay, done. You are reversing the method. Folding it, unfold it, reversing the method. You are heating it, converting ice into water, then cool it, reversing the method. You are getting back the original form. So by reversing the method we can get back the physical change, original form. So it is a physical change as well as temporary change. So you can explain in this way by giving an example like folding a paper, unfolding it. So we are reversing the method, we can get back the original form. That is why it is a temporary change. Now comes to the answer number 6. Now comes to the question number 6, that chemical change is a permanent change. Explain. To explain, let's take an example. It's better to give an example when they were asking about explanation, because it will help us to understand in a very good way. The example is milk to curd. Very easy example. Very easiest one. Once you convert the milk into curd, is there any possibility to get back to milk? Is there any possibility? Is there any method that from curd we can get back to the milk? No, there is no way. So once the curd is formed, you can't get back to the original form, that is milk. There is no other way. There is no method that you can get back to the milk. So the curd is fixed. It is fixed. The change is fixed. The change you have done, it's done. It's fixed and the process cannot be undone. So this is the reason the chemical change is a permanent change. Whenever the change is fixed, and the process cannot be undone, then it is a permanent change. But in a physical change, it was a temporary, because the process can be undone and the change is not fixed. For like stretching a rubber band, you are stretching it till it can be stretched. But if you unstretch it, if you leave it, if you release your hand, you will see that rubber band is getting back its original form. So what you are seeing you are seeing that the change you have done while stretching, that is not fixed, because once you release rubber band gets back its original form. So the process can be undone. That change is temporary change, but here the process cannot be undone. So the chemical change is permanent change. Now comes to the topic we will discuss today. Before starting the topic, I have to clarify some doubt. In the last class, some of the students have told me that regarding the properties that I have mentioned, in the difference in the properties between the physical and chemical change. There I mentioned that in physical change there is no properties change, and in chemical the properties change. This property is actually a generalized term. Property is generalized term which is classified based on 3 property, that is a property is classified into 3 properties, that is physical, chemical and property based on their uses. In NCERT it is mentioned that in a physical change the physical properties are changed. What are these physical properties? The physical properties are like shape, color, size, state. These are the physical properties. But what are chemical property? The chemical property means where there is a chemical reaction is involved. And the property based on uses, that where these substances, the substances that you are taking, where are these substances are used. So in NCERT it has mentioned that in physical change the physical properties are changed, and in chemical change the properties are changed. That means you have to be very sure that what kind of properties changed in a physical and chemical. For example, let's take an example of folding of a paper and burning a paper. Now tell me, once you fold the paper, what is changed you see? What kind of changes you see? First, in a folding of paper you see the shape, that is chemical. Does the chemical properties change? No, the property is not changed. And the uses, before unfolding it you are able to write on it. After folding, does it mean that you can't write on it? Even after folding you can write on it. So the uses also does not change. Now tell me about the burning of paper. Once the paper is burned, suppose you are burning a paper, burning in presence of oxygen, it gives us what? Ash plus carbon dioxide. Ash is, the color of the ash is grey, or we can say black, Now tell me, physical property is changed? Yes, the color is changed. Color and as well as state is changed. Chemical property is changed? Yes, the chemical property is also changed, because you see that paper has been burnt and gives us what? Ash and the carbon dioxide. These two are two different substances. Now tell me about the uses. Does the uses remain the same? Once the paper is burned and converted into ash, does the uses remain the same? Can we write on the ash? No, we can't write. So we can say that uses also changed. No change? Are you here to say yes, changed? Now tell me that whom should we call a physical change and whom should we call a chemical change? Folding a paper is a physical change and burning a paper is a chemical change. Now see very clearly and carefully that in physical change, only these property is changed. Only physical property change, but other two properties remain same. The difference that I have given you, that the property does not change, which property does not change? The uses, the property based on uses and the chemical property, these are not changed in physical change. But physical property changed. Physical property, only among the property, this property is changed. But in chemical, you see 3 properties get changed. Physical property also get changed, chemical properties also change, and the property based on the uses, they also change. So in chemical change, all the properties change, but in physical, only physical properties change. This is the difference. This is the difference you have to understand in physical and chemical change. So we can say that in chemical, specifically change, in chemical, all properties are changed. All properties are changed. Means, be it physical, chemical or uses, these are all changed. But in physical change, only physical property is changed, other property remains same. See? So the difference I mentioned in the last class was on this property, that in the physical, the chemical property and the uses are remain same. Physical property may change, but other 2 properties remain same. But in chemical, all the properties are changed. So you have to be very clarified with the things, or you have to be very careful with the changes, that what are the properties get changed in physical and chemical. Now comes to the some of the topics of the physical change. Since we have discussed that in physical change what kind of properties get changed and chemical what properties are changed, now we will take some typical example, and a typical example which tells that it is a physical change. Like dissolving a salt in water. After dissolving a salt in water, what we get? We get a mixture, right? We get a mixture, homogeneous mixture. Physical change, no new substance is formed, but this mixture is also a kind of a new substances, or we can say it is a kind of a impure substances. Then how can we call it as a physical change? But now tell me, before adding the salt, what was the taste of the salt? It was salty, right? It was salty. And what was the property? What was the uses of the water? The uses of the water, the one major uses was that it can quench our thirst. Yes, it can quench our thirst. And one more is it can put off the fire. Okay. But now tell me, after dissolving the salt in water, does the saltiness of the salt gets changed? Does the taste of the salt get changed? No. So after dissolving also, it was before dissolving. Okay. After dissolving also, the saltiness remains same. Means even it is distributed throughout the water. But what about the water? After dissolving a salt in water, will it not quench our thirst? Yes, of course. Even after dissolving a salt in water, it will quench our thirst. Will it not put off the fire? Yes, it will. Even after dissolving also, it will quench our thirst, it will put off the fire. See, the properties are same. I told you that these properties are based on what? Uses. This property are based on what? Uses. So these uses are remain same. Since in physical property, I told you that physical properties only change, like shape, color, size, these are changed, but other property remains same. And other property like uses, chemical property, these are remain same. Now tell me, after dissolving a salt in water, does the formula of water get changed? Before, the formula was H2O. Even after dissolving, does the formula get changed? No, it remains same, it remains H2O. Here also, even before mixing it was NaCl. After also it remains what? NaCl. Now tell me that this is chemical change. This is chemical change and this is chemical property, and this is what? Property based on uses. See, these two properties are still remaining the same. Since these properties are still remaining the same, so we can say that it is a physical change. It is not chemical change. In chemical change, the formula would have changed. The formula of the salt would have changed, but it hasn't changed the formula, even the property based on uses. So we can say that dissolving a salt in water is actually a physical change, because the chemical property and the property based on uses remain the same. Now comes to the other properties. Now comes to the evaporation and melting. Now tell me, in evaporation what happens, in melting what happens? In evaporation, water gets converted to gas. We know what is evaporation. Evaporation is a process of converting a liquid into vapor or a gas, right? Now tell me, if once you convert a water into gas, is it not possible to get water from the gas? Yes, if we cool it. So we can get water from gas also. If on heating we can get gas, on cooling a gas we can get water. So see, now tell me, since we are getting back the original form, what kind of change it is? Reversible. Now, physical or chemical, we have to understand. Now tell me, the formula of water was what? H2. But what about the formula of the gas, or we can say water vapor? Does it change after changing into a gas? No, the formula remains same. See, formula remains same. So we can say, so see, it is what? It is a chemical property. Now chemical properties are remaining the same. Only the physical properties change. That is, it is liquid, it is a gaseous form. Physical properties change, but chemical properties remaining the same. We can say that evaporation is a what kind of process? What kind of change? Evaporation is a physical change. Because here the physical property like state of the substances get changed, but the chemical property remains same. And what about the melting? Yes, even in the melting, if we heat it, we can get the water. But it is not possible to get the ice from water, from the same water. Yes, if we cool it. So what kind of change it is? It is a reversible. But now tell me, physical or chemical? What is the formula of water? H2O. But what is the formula? Chemical formula of ice? It is also H2O. See again, the chemical properties are same. Chemical formula are same. So means chemical properties are same. Chemical formula are same. So means chemical properties are same. Since chemical property are same, so it is what kind of change? It is a physical change. So melting, evaporation, or we can say condensation, these are all what? These are all physical change, or we can say physical process. Till now, today we will discuss we will discuss the rest of the topic in the next class.